Hello. Okay. Yay. Welcome to my Metal Gear Let's Play. So before I start, I guess I should give a little bit of context for those friends who don't know Metal Gear. So Metal Gear Solid 3 is actually the third game in the Metal Gear series. Um, there were two games before this, but they're not as playable now in the year 2017 because they're so old. I might go back to them later, but I think Metal Gear Solid is a pretty good starting point. But just for a little bit of context before that, I guess it's worth knowing that Solid Snake has been in two games before. The first game was Metal Gear. It was about Solid Snake. He was a rookie special ops agent in an outfit called Foxhound, which is sort of like a fictional sort of extra cool equivalent to like the Navy SEALs, I guess. And Foxhound is headed up by this like legendary super soldier called Big Boss. And so in Metal Gear 1, Big Boss sends Solid Snake out on this mission to this place called Outer Heaven. And Outer Heaven has been rumored to be developing like a secret weapon, and they've already sent an agent in. And he was a more experienced agent named Gray Fox, but he kind of went MIA. So to rescue him, they send this rookie agent Solid Snake in, and they're like, "Hey, Solid Snake, you go rescue Gray Fox, and also just like finish his mission, like get this information about their secret weapon, Metal Gear, that we're wondering what it is." So Solid Snake goes in and he finds Gray Fox, who's been like tortured and shit, and Gray Fox is like, "Oh, this is like something's like fishy here, like not something's not right." And then he like rescues him, and then he finds out that Metal Gear is like this like nuke launching Gundam basically, and he's supposed to basically take it down because they don't want this like terrorist organization in Outer Heaven to have that power, I guess, which makes sense. So he goes through the base, and then he confronts the final boss of the base. And like this whole time that you've been in this game, like shit has just not really been going the way you think it should be going. People give you instructions and then they're like wrong, and you're like, why the fuck did that happen? And then at the very end you find out that this whole time Big Boss has been playing you, and he's actually the boss of Outer Heaven, and he sent you in because you're a rookie, and he thought you would be kind of easy to like pull the wool over your eyes, and he could send you in and feed you some like false information and send you home. But then you were too good and you found out like the true meaning of Metal Gear, and now you guys have to fight. So you fight Big Boss and you kill Big Boss and you take down the Metal Gear, and then you go home. And Solid Snake is like, shit man, I'm out. Like that's enough. I'm done. I retire. So he just retires at the end of Metal Gear. Then in Metal Gear 2, the new commander of Foxhound, Roy Campbell, calls you out of retirement, and he's like, "Hey, Solid Snake, we got this shit going down in this place called Zanzibar Land, and we need you because you're the best guy that we have. So we need you to come out of retirement and check this out." And Solid Snake is like, okay. So he does, and he goes in to find out what's going on, and when he infiltrates Zanzibar Land, he ends up kind of meeting a bunch of the people that he ran into on his first mission in Outer Heaven. But weirdly, they're like working for the other side, like working for Zanzibar Land, and like there's like weird shit happening. There's like child soldiers there, and you meet like these kids who are like, "Oh, we really love the boss of this place. He's like a cool guy. Like everyone really loves the boss of this place." And even though like you're coming in and you're like, this is like a place full of terrorists and they want to threaten like the peace of the world, and they want to launch nukes. They've been stealing nukes from their neighbors. And then you as you go through the game, you end up confronting somebody in a Metal Gear who it turns out is Gray Fox. And Gray Fox, you haven't seen him since Outer Heaven, and now it turns out he's working for Zanzibar Land. And when you beat him in the Metal Gear, he reveals to you that the boss of Zanzibarland is actually Big Boss. Big Boss did not die when you killed him in Outer Heaven. He's still alive, and he's here, and he has a Metal Gear, and Solid Snake is like, okay, I guess I have to kill him again. But this time you have to fight your friend Gray Fox first. So he fights Gray Fox because Gray Fox is like totally committed to Big Boss for some reason, and he kills Gray Fox, and then he goes and defeats the Metal Gear and kills Big Boss. But before you kill Big Boss kind of gives you like this somewhat moving speech about how he's like working to create this like paradise for like soldiers who've been discarded by the governments who've been using them, and how like politicians like just use soldiers for their own dirty means, and then once they're done with them, like they just kind of throw them aside like trash, and like how people like him, people like Solid Snake, like they've been trained to do nothing but kill, and they just have no place in society. So Big Boss is like, that's what I'm here for, like I'm going to make a place for these like lost souls, and I'm going to take them in, and this is their outer heaven. And I mean, there's something noble about it, but it's also kind of crazy. He's like, these guys can't do anything but kill, so I'm going to give them a purpose in life to fight. Anyway, he also reveals to you, shockingly, this is actually, I think, this is a retcon that I think happened in Metal Gear Solid, because I don't remember seeing it in the text of Metal Gear 2, but anyway, he tells you that he's your dad, so that's fun, and then you kill him, I guess for real, and then that's it. And Solid Snake is like super traumatized from this, and he's like, great, cool, I did it again, I saved the world again, and I'm out, I'm bye, like I'm like goodbye, just like I'm retired, bye. So that's where we are now with Metal Gear Solid, when it turns out Roy Campbell wants to call Solid Snake out of retirement, yes, again. So I guess I'll just give it a go. Let's start.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by Next Generation Special Forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. high-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound's squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Okay, so it's not shady at all that, Campbell is, like, retired from Foxhound and sending you in on a top secret mission with absolutely zero support? No! Totally cool. Alright, Solid Snake, let's go! Okay, hang on. I always press the wrong button because it's old. And it's still on Japanese, like, circle. Circle is, like, select. David Hayter is the voice of Solid Snake, and he's pretty infamous for it, but he's also a screenwriter, as it turns out. I think he wrote, like, those old, like, 90s X-Files movies?
Stay alert. He'll be through here. I know it. I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface. But make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, what was I gonna say? Oh, so the guy in the elevator that we just saw, that was Liquid Snake, who's the boss of Foxhound, which is your former unit. Some shit has gone down, and Foxhound has, like, rebelled, I guess, against the government, and now they're, like, making kind of, like, terrorist demands. So that's all a mystery. No one knows why he's called Liquid Snake either, because, like, why? We'll find out. Also, I should mention, normally I play Metal Gear non-lethally because the games usually do give you that option, and I find it more rewarding to play that way, but Metal Gear Solid 1 is not really set up for that. There aren't really any ways to play non-lethally. There are just, like, places where you basically have to kill people. And like your only option to not kill people and take them out is like to basically punch and kick them. And when you do that, they go down for like 2 seconds.
Snake, there's an elevator there you can take up to the ground. You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You'd better hide somewhere.
Yeah, so not very helpful. In later games, you have a lot more options for taking people down non-lethally. You have like a tranq gun or CQC, but right now Snake can only punch, and it's not fun. So yeah, I'm gonna be killing people in this game. Honestly, I might kill people in the other games too, just like by accident, but I'll try not to. Also, I normally play the game on easy mode, so this is my first time on normal mode. I did do a little bit of a, Jesus, don't look at me, a little bit of a test run last night, and it seemed like basically the same, except that bullets do more damage, so hopefully it'll be fine. We'll see. I think this game still looks really good. I mean, the art direction is super solid. I mean, no pun intended. I love how brave Kojima is to just like do these like cinematic close-ups on his characters' faces when they're literally like 2 pixels wide.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea, but it looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system. The bright dot in the middle is you, Snake. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
You never know when you might need some cigarettes that you stored in your butt.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Okay, I think I have control again. Oh, I'm already full up. Never mind. When do you get to hold more rations, or do you never get to hold more rations? Ah! Fuck! I didn't... God damn it. Well, so much for not getting caught. Don't look at me. Luckily, evasion's really fast in this game. It's the worst in Metal Gear Solid 3. Guess I can't get too close. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. Oh, what's this?
Surveillance camera?
Actually, I don't feel like I even need stun grenades, but like, whatever, I guess. Is that the guy who was sleeping before? Oh, I must have woken him up when I set off the goddamn alarm. Alright, well. Actually, this might work out well for me, because I can just kind of like... Oh, fuck this. Oh, whatever. I'm going in. Whatever.
Snake, this is McDonald Miller. It's been a long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80. Those mice are Alaskan field mice. Don't worry, they can't hurt you. Wild field mice don't have a thick layer of fat, but they can still survive the bitter winters here without hibernating. They dig tunnels under the snow. That's where they stay warm.
Survival specialists, huh? I should learn from them.
But there's a dark side too. Sometimes the males will kill and eat offspring that's not their own.
To ensure the survival of their own genes, right?
Yeah, pretty brilliant program, huh? If there are mice, that means there must be an exit somewhere. Follow the mice.
So Master Miller is a character from Metal Gear 2. He's like an old friend of yours from Foxhound. I think he trained you when you were in Foxhound. And in any case, he... oh my god, this is the only time the O2 gauge ever shows up in this game. I just realized they literally designed it just for this 1 2-second stretch. Sorry, and that's, if you can hear it, that is my cat Tofu playing in the background, and she might scream later, so deal with it, I guess. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so Master Miller, he was like a drill instructor with Foxhound, and he was an advisor to you when you got pulled out of retirement from Metal Gear 2. Now he's retired in Alaska, just like you. You're both retired in Alaska. Because I guess both of you are like done with this soldiering shit, but you both got pulled out of retirement for this mission again. There's something I want in this room. Usually I miss it, but I do want to get it. It's like the infrared goggles, so I may have to kill some guys. Yeah.
Use the elevator to change floors.
That's
there should
my
be
cat.
a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
I think it's upstairs. I've like never gotten it before. I always just use my cigarettes, which is That's basically what you use cigarettes for in this game, is if you smoke them while you're near like one of those infrared lasers, the smoke will show the laser a little bit. And the cigarettes like kill you slowly. Fuck. Don't look at me. As you use them, so they deplete your health, so it's not a great idea to use them, but if you don't have IR goggles, then they are the only way. Okay. Nope. What the fuck is it then? How many fucking... I don't think I have enough chaff grenades to like actually do this. Is it in here? Something I can do. Thermal goggles. Yes. The first time I ever got the thermal goggles. And they actually weren't that bad to get. There's no one up here. I feel like the first time I played this game all the way actually through, it was with Leslie, and I looked up where the thermal goggles were before we went into like the area where you need them, which is close by here, but we don't need to go there yet. And I made her go upstairs to go get them, and we just kept dying. We died like 80 times in a row. It was pretty bad. Let's go. Oh yeah, and then the first... Okay, never mind.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
God, her accent is so bad. This game is pretty old. It's like 1998, I think, which is around when the PlayStation came out. So it's like, I mean, like, it's pretty amazing for the time, right? Like, think about games that came out around then, like Final Fantasy VII. It called itself 3D, but it wasn't really very 3D.
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder.
Yeah, I know, thanks. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I also played this game with Ryan once, and we pretty much got to like this area, and then there's a part where you have to fight after this cutscene, and we died 80 times in a row and gave up. But now I can beat it, so don't worry. Hey, who's that?
Is that a woman?
No shit.
Not him.
You can look at her again, and there's like an Easter egg, but I'm not gonna do it.
Snake, the DARPA chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode.
Thanks, Campbell. Real helpful.
Who's that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay? We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between ArmsTech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data, and then proceed to mass production. If it hadn't been for the revolution.
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes. Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of ArmsTech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by ArmsTech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes, they cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical field.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
Hey, what happened?
Dead.
Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you, the Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
Oh, I cut this in right as my cat screamed. Some shit is going on up there on the radar, as you can see. That's gonna be Meryl. She's gonna let me out in a second, but before I go out, I wanted to say that usually when I play this game, that's the door, I think. Usually when I play this game with friends, they can ask questions and I can answer, like, as they have the questions. But since you guys can't ask me questions, I really don't know, like, which parts to explain and which parts not to. A lot of what the DARPA chief just said was just technological mumbo jumbo that Kojima made up, and it's not super important. I mean, it's relevant to the gameplay, and I will go in the right places. I did want to mention that when he says, like, the thing about the walls being a different color that they've kind of, like, filled in, that's kind of a callback to Metal Gear 1, I think, when you get yourself caught in prison and have to, like, kind of bust through walls. I think you just punch through the walls in that game because you're really strong. But yeah, a lot of the things in this game are callbacks to Metal Gear 1 and 2, and in fact, the Metal Gear games all kind of follow a similar structure, which is that you get sent in on a solo infiltration mission that you don't know a whole lot about, and it's really important that you go in and rescue someone, usually a scientist, and get information. And then as you get further into the plot of the game, it turns out that things are not exactly as you thought. So Solid Snake has been kind of, like, dragged through this mess twice already, so as you can see, he doesn't have a lot of patience for it, but he does keep coming back. And I guess for me, the fact that the games all kind of follow the same general structure kind of works in a way, because it kind of like it, you could say it makes Solid Snake stupid to keep coming back, but at the same time, it's like the fate of the world is on his shoulders. So it's like people are like, hey, Solid Snake, are you going to do this thing that is probably going to really fuck you over, but you'll save the world? Or are you going to just, like, not care about the world and not save the world? And he's like, I guess I'm going to do it. So yeah, I don't know. I like Solid Snake. He's a good guy. Hi, Poopy.
Don't move! So you killed the chief, you bastard! Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move!
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie!
You're not one of them, are you?
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed.
What are you doing? Don't think. Shoot! What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Fuck. Yeah, please shoot them. Fucking.
Thanks for the help.
Wait! Who are you?
You fool! You've killed him!
I'm sorry, sir.
His mental shielding was very strong. I could not dive into his mind.
Now we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea.
Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So that was Mantis.
Ugh, these cutscenes always go on so long that, like, by the time I get control again, like, the thing I wanted to say has passed, which I guess is just Kojima's really long-winded, and so am I. What did I want to talk about? One, the sexism in these games is basically inexcusable. Like, there's really no excusing it. It's weird, and I think it's kind of funny, but it is for sure there. So, what can I say, really? Meryl's stupid butt walk. The other thing I was gonna mention, I forgot. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I think I'm supposed to go get President Baker now. Yeah, President Baker of the Armstead Corporation. There's actually a part in Metal Gear Solid 2 where you have to get the actual president of the United States, so there's that to look forward to. I used to be able to punch right through them. Now I have to use C4. Is that the last one? Is this? I don't think so. I love that they had time to fill in all these walls. Very resourceful. God. Terrifying, terrifying. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's get out of here. Okay. Okay. And now we get to meet one of my favorite characters.
Am I too late? He's alive. You're the Arms Tech president, Kenneth Baker, right? Don't worry. I'm here to save you.
No, don't touch it!
C4.
Right. Touch that wire, and the C4 will blow up along with the old man. So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about.
And you?
Special Operations Foxhound. Revolver Ocelot. I I've been waiting for you, Solid Snake. Now we'll see if the man can live up to the legend. This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver. Draw!
Okay, first of all, he definitely gave himself that nickname. Second of all, Ocelot is disgusting and has a lot of problems, but he's also very funny, and there definitely is a reason he has all these problems, and the games go into it later in like the prequel games. Just shoot him. Yeah.
I love to reload during a battle. There's nothing like the feeling of slamming a long silver bullet. All right, I'm alive again. Let's go.
He's so gross.
Hiding won't help.
Also, don't you love this like elaborate rubber band C4 trap that he's set up? Like, God, so unnecessary.
Don't you want to settle this?
I should probably not.
I love the smell.
Oops. I actually do want to listen to him talk because he's so weird and disgusting. But that's fine.
But to you, it'll be the smell of your own death.
Thanks for finishing that sentence. Also, he can bounce bullets off walls, and when he shows up in Metal Gear Solid 5, which is a prequel game, he's a playable character when you do like the online online mode, which is just like you fighting against other players online. And he's the only character who can bounce bullets off walls because, honestly, who cares about balance? Ocelot always wins. Did you just shoot her?
Wait a minute.
Wait for what? Should get some ammo. Why should I wait? Are you saying wait whenever you need to reload? Thanks, Spooky. Oops. I used all my rations.
You're pretty good. Just what I'd expect from the man with the same code as the boss. It's been a long time since I had such a good fight, but I'm just getting warmed up. What? My hand! Stealth camouflage. Can't you even die right? You were lucky. We'll meet again! Who are you? I like you. I have no name. That exoskeleton
Can you talk?
Who are you?
I'm not one of them. The DARPA chief told me he gave them his detonation code. What about yours?
Oh, I get it. Jim sent you. You're from the Pentagon.
Answer my question. What about your code? There's no time.
I talked.
What? Now the terrorists have both codes and can launch any time.
It's not like I didn't fight. I managed to resist Psycho Mantis's mind probe.
He couldn't read you? How'd you do it?
Surgical implants in my brain.
Surgical implants?
Kind of like a psychic insulation. Everyone who knows these top secret codes has it.
Even the DARPA chief?
Of course.
But the DARPA chief said Mantis got his code by reading his mind.
Are you sure you heard him right?
Yeah, I'm sure. In that case, how did they get your code?
I never had any training on how to resist torture.
It looks like he had some fun with you, all right.
Oh, he's not human. I tell you, he loved every second of it.
What happened to your arm?
He broke it.
Looks like you're more than even now. His was sliced off.
Ha, you're a funny man. So the DARPA chief, is he okay?
Dead.
What? Can't be. No, that's not what you promised, Jim. Now you want to shut me up?
Calm down. What's wrong with you? I just told you I was here to save you. I didn't kill the DARPA chief. He had a heart attack or something.
A heart attack? Oh, don't be a fool.
Anyway, the terrorists have both codes now.
Those boys are totally insane. They wouldn't hesitate to launch.
I agree, but what do they really want?
Oh, who knows? Maybe they're like us in the arms industry, always looking forward to the next good war.
Well, I'm not gonna let these maniacs start a war today. You still have the card keys?
Card keys?
To override the detonation code. I heard you had them.
No, not anymore.
What? Who does then? Not the terrorists?
No, that woman.
Woman? Who?
A soldier that was thrown in prison along with me.
A female soldier, it must be.
She said she had just joined up as a new recruit. They threw her in prison because she refused to take part in the rebellion.
A new recruit? Could that be the Colonel's niece?
I gave her the key. Looks like she managed to break out of here, though. I hope she's okay.
I'm sure she is. She's green, but as tough as they come. But how did you know she escaped?
I was in contact with her by codec. Until I was tied up here, that is.
Codec?
Yes, she stole it from the guard. If she still has it, you should be able to contact her.
I'm sure she still has it. What frequency was she at?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, it's... Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Damn!
Oh, that's right. It should be on the back of the CD case. Try to contact her.
I'll contact her right away. But tell me, if this doesn't work, is there some other way to prevent the missile launch?
You need to find Hal Emmerich, one of my employees.
Who's that?
The team leader of the Metal Gear Rex project. A genius at engineering, but a little bit of an oddball. If there's anyone who can figure out how to stop Metal Gear from launching, it's him.
What if he can't come up with anything?
You'll have to destroy it. Emmerich knows how to destroy Metal Gear.
Where is this Emmerich?
Well, he's probably being held somewhere in the nuclear warhead storage building. It's north from here. That's where he worked.
I understand, but why Metal Gear? The nuclear age ended with the turn of the millennium.
Oh, you're wrong. The threat of nuclear war isn't gone. In fact, it's greater than it's ever been. The amount of spent nuclear fuel and plutonium is increasing even today. Listen, have you ever seen a warehouse full of nuclear material?
No.
Drums and drums of nuclear waste stacked this high, as far as you can see. Because there's still no real way to dispose of the stuff.
So they just close the lid and try to pretend like it'll go away?
Essentially, yes. And they're not even doing a good job of storing it. Many of the drums are corroded, with nuclear waste seeping out of them.
Unbelievable.
Not only that, but several pounds of MUF are reported every year.
MUF?
It stands for material unaccounted for. It proves that there's a large and well-organized black market in nuclear materials.
Furthermore, since the end of the Cold War, Russian nuclear engineers in particular are out of work with no way to turn. In other words, there's plenty of available nuclear material and scientists for making a bomb. We live in an age when any small country can have a nuclear weapons program.
What about the other superpowers?
Russia and China still maintain a significant nuclear presence. Complete nuclear disarmament is an impossibility. To maintain our own policy of deterrence, we need a weapon of overwhelming power.
You mean Metal Gear?
Yes. You know our industry suffered quite a blow as a result of the cuts in military budgets due to this so-called peace.
I remember hearing a lot about mergers and takeovers among the big weapons makers.
Yes, and after my company lost their bid to produce the Air Force's next line of fighter jet, the Metal Gear system was our last ace in the hole. That's why we pushed to have Metal Gear developed as a black project.
Black project?
Secret projects paid for by the Pentagon's black budget. You can avoid a lot of red tape and get a great lead time on your weapons production. And no one can bother you. Not even those bleeding heart liberals on the Military Oversight Committee.
Bribes.
I prefer to think of it as good business. Anyway, Metal Gear was going to be formally adopted after the results of this exercise were analyzed.
I don't give a crap about you and your company.
Yes, that's about what I'd expect from a grunt like you. Here, this is what you came for, right?
What's that?
An optical disc. It's all here. The main hard drive was destroyed by gunfire. This is the only remaining copy of the data.
What kind of data?
All the data collected from this exercise. Don't play dumb. I know you were sent to get this. I hid it from that sadistic maniac while he was torturing me. They don't know this disc exists. Make sure you report this to Jim. To your boss. I'll give you my card too. It'll open up all security level 2 doors.
Can you walk?
No. No, you go on without me. They got my password. They don't want anything else from me.
I have one more question. Who or what was that ninja thing? It looked like you knew something.
That ninja? That was Foxhound's dark little secret.
Dark little secret?
An experimental genome soldier.
You know him?
You should ask Dr. Naomi Hunter from Foxhound. She knows better than I.
Naomi?
You've got to stop them. If it goes public, my company and I are finished.
What? Doesn't Metal Gear use currently existing technology?
Metal Gear itself does, but... What did you do to me? Oh, no. Oh, no, it can't be. Those Pentagon bastards. So, they actually went and did it.
What are you talking about?
They're just using you for...
What the hell?
Colonel, are you listening? Now he's dead too.
I have no idea.
Don't lie to me.
It looked like another heart attack, but...
Some kind of poison?
Well, there are lots of drugs that can cause a heart attack in large doses. For example, potassium chloride or dioxides, but we won't be able to tell without doing an autopsy.
Damn!
Snake, I want you and Meryl to work together.
Can I trust her?
More than you can trust me. Get in contact with her.
Snake, there's a lot of electrical interference coming from there. It should be okay if you do burst transmission like us, but normal transmission is probably impossible. Try moving away from that area.
Snake, get a hold of yourself.
Naomi, what the hell was that ninja thing? A member of Foxhound?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no one like that in our unit.
Is that right?
Snake, I'm counting on you.
Earlier, when I said we were about to meet my favorite character, I meant Ocelot for the record, but I do like Baker a lot too. He's pretty funny. I like that he just spends the entire fight with Ocelot just kind of like groaning in the corner like and then afterwards, after you've rescued him, like the first thing he does is just like hit you. Oh god. With his cane. Thanks, old man. Ah, fuck! Fuck. Oh, I just wanted to see if this ration was here, but now I'm fucking dead. I should have saved. Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I mean, I should save. I'm gonna save. I might as well call Mei-Ling. Oh, I should call Miller once in a while too.
First, the DARPA chief, and then President Baker die of a heart attack?
Yeah, smells pretty rotten to me. Master, do you know anything?
No, but there's definitely something going on. Keep your eyes open out there.
Helpful. Call him again.
People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer.
Gamer. One more time.
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, Master. I'm gonna save my game.
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area. There's some kind of electronic jamming coming from there. I wonder what it is. Anyway, be careful.
I should probably save more often, actually.
Be careful, Snake.
Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here because it's been over an hour. Go inside this room where it's safe. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be the first segment of Metal Gear Solid 1. Thanks for watching.